Hey, welcome to the Ox Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Big Book, aka Ox, and do me a favor. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell if you haven't subscribed yet. It lets you know anytime I'm dropping any new content. And what a great Saturday this has turned out to be. The Michigan Wolverines upset number 2 Ohio State. Listen, I'm going to be honest. I did not think this Michigan Wolverine team could do this. There was nothing that we saw during the season or leading up to this game to think that this outcome was possible. Now, they did play better last week against Northwestern, but that's Northwestern. We have no quarterback. We have no wide receivers. In this game, Colston Loveland did not play. We have no Will Johnson in a secondary that has been struggling most part of the year, have been playing better the last couple weeks. I mean, if there's anybody that could tell me that they had real confidence that this outcome could happen, I couldn't believe you. I wouldn't believe you. Ohio State, you went out and you got Quinshon Judkins to beat us in this game. You went and got Caleb Downs to beat us in this game. You went out and got Will to beat us in this game. And you still came up short. This is the worst Michigan team that there has been in a long time. As a collective unit. Now, we do have individuals who have first-round talent. Mason Graham, Kenneth Grant, Colston Loveland, Will Johnson. Those guys could go in the first round. And then we have other players that are draftable. Donovan Edwards, so forth. But the inconsistency that this team played with all year, and somehow, with Ohio State's help, put it together in the biggest game of the year and came out with the W. 4 years in a row. If you can't beat us this year, when is it going to happen? Why is the reason I say, with Ohio State's help, Ryan Day? Ryan freaking Day. My man is soft and he is scared. Now, is he a good coach? Yes. Is he a very good coach? Yes. He's a very, very good coach. He only has one loss in the Big Ten outside of Michigan. Just one. But it seems like every time it comes to this game, he puckers up, that tail goes underneath him, and that yellow streak starts flowing down the middle of his back. He was born on third base, like Jim Harbaugh said. He didn't get himself there. He started there. And he's still standing there. I mean, we have probably the one thing Michigan has, probably, is the best defensive line in the country. And Ryan Day has heard this for so long. You're not tough. You play like you're a tough team, but you're soft. When it comes to you playing against the big boys, you're soft. You get pushed around. And you know what? That is correct. So what Ryan Day figured he'd do, along with Chip Kelly, is run at our NFL defensive tackles. That was your plan? It wasn't going to happen, bruh. And really, running around the outside with Stewart and Moore wasn't going to happen either, because they're going to the NFL. If you thought you were going to come into the game and just run and bludgeon us down the field, I'll take that game plan all day. You helped us. Because our weakest area is our secondary. It's our secondary. They have not held up pretty much all year. They have gotten better. Have gotten better within the last couple weeks. But that is our weak spot besides our offensive passing. And you have the tools to expose it with all those great wide receivers you have. And you chose to try to be a big boy. You chose that, and you got spanked. For the last 22 years, the team who has won the rushing battle in the game has won the game. And it sticks true this year also. Michigan almost 200 yards rushing, 177. I believe Ohio State 77, 71. But that should not have bothered you, Ohio State. You should have stayed with the game plan that you should have used and just pass the ball. Take advantage of the secondary. But you couldn't do it because you wanted to be a big boy. You wanted to act like that you guys weren't built soft, but you were. You're not built middle out. You are built out in. That's how you're built. You got to run the ball. You won't win this game until you are dominant in those trenches. You have to run the ball in this game. We learned that. We started recruiting this way. You guys know that, but you continue to build from the outside in. In Michigan is in Ryan Day's head. You see it on the sideline. He's scared. He's nervous. It's a fake presence that you can detect. He's putting on a farce when he's over there. But when you look on the other side, Coach Jerome Moore, you see confidence. See, like I said before, I did not think that this was possible. But I did think if we could keep the game close, Ohio State will start to pucker up. Start to get tight. Hands start to sweat. You start to remember we have not beaten these guys. It becomes a psychological thing. You start making mistakes. You start dropping passes. Carnell Tate. If we had a quarterback, we'd have beat you by 14. This team would have beat you by 14. If we had J.J. McCarthy, we'd have beat you by 14. Maybe more. So what now? What now? Now we come in next year with, if not a better transfer portal quarterback as a starter, Bryce Underwood, the number one player in the country. Granted, you guys have the number 2 or 3 quarterback, depending on what recruiting services you look at. He may not even be there. You guys have other quarterbacks that's probably going to start in front of him. This was your best shot. What you tried to do, you tried to run it back, and you tried to run it the same way Michigan did last year, when we had everybody come back as a collective and finish something we were supposed to do the year before. And we put it together, and then we got it done. You guys spent $20 million on a roster full of 5 stars, full of names, and you still couldn't do it. What are you guys? Now, I do believe this. Ryan Day's not going to be fired. I believe you'll win your first game. I believe you'll still get that home game in the first round. I believe you'll win that game. I believe you'll lose the second game probably. Even if you win that, you'll lose the third game. You're not tough enough in the trenches to do what you need to do. Everybody keeps talking about fire Ryan Day, fire Ryan Day. Who in their right mind? Ohio State fans, listen to me now. What great coach would take this job? You guys have a standard that you have to win every game. And most games, you guys are the better team. But that's a standard that people cannot hit. Who in their right minds would take this job? Who? Ryan Day is not a bad coach. He's only lost to Michigan and Oregon this year. Michigan the last 4 years. Oregon this year. He's beaten everybody else. Who would take this job? Knowing that the standards are set so high that the only thing you can do is fall. I don't know, man. I would like to see a list. This is just a reaction right now. But I'll look at candidates to who I think would be good here. You guys have all the resources, you have everything, but you're built wrong, man. You're built from the outside in. You're not built from the inside out. And you don't want to sacrifice. You don't want to sacrifice those beautiful items on the outside to get rough and rugged. Because it looks prettier the way you guys do it. But it doesn't get you the results that you should get. To be real, if Penn State had a competent coach, they would beat you guys. Because Penn State has the talent. They have a horrible coach. Now, James Franklin is a bad coach. Ryan Day is not a bad coach. He's a good coach. He just, when it comes to this game, he puckers up. Chip Kelly puckered up. Hey, keep running the ball at our 2 monstrous defensive tackles. We will take that. You're not going to run around the end either with Josiah Stewart and more. You had your opportunity to attack the secondary, and you could not do it. You wanted to be a big boy. You're not. You're not that way. You're not that dude that spends his time in the gym and works and works and works and becomes huge You're the guy who comes in and they take steroids and they look good. But when it comes down to playing or lifting against that guy who's came in and done it for hours every day, you get outlifted. I know that you guys had a couple linemen out. I don't want to hear it. With all the people we got out, I don't want to hear it at all. Once again, man, no Colston Loveland, who's probably the best tight end in America. Will Johnson, one of the top 2 or 3 defensive backs in America, not playing. Donovan Edwards, the Ohio State Buckeye killer, did not play in the second half. So we just had big bruiser back there, Khalil Mullings. We didn't have anybody with speed. You still couldn't stop us. We ran enough to get the job done. After we turned the ball over with one of the worst passes I've ever seen somebody throw. I don't know what he was doing on that pass. Tight end was wide open. All he had to do was lob it. Why he put no air underneath it, I don't know. The linebacker made a good play. That really saved the game for you guys right there. Really did. But like I said, this is just an immediate reaction. The next time, it's going to be more stats, and after I look at the game, we can go over some plays, but you can tell that you guys were trying to be big boys. You can tell. A 3rd and 9 and you guys run a draw? That's what you guys come up with? A draw? Trying to be a big boy. Not having it. The one thing you could not let us do was keep the game close. And you did. But it was to your own detriment. The one time you guys did go down the field, you passed the ball all the way down the field. Now, I will say that Zeke Berry was illegally contacted and thrown down. That's how your receiver got open. But here, no there. Sometimes they call it, sometimes they don't. Because they called it in the Oregon game and they didn't call it in this game. I don't know why. But you guys ran a 2-minute offense. You threw the ball. You went right down the field. I don't know, man. Does Ryan Day keep his job if he wins 2 games? Man, he has a $37 million buyout. And once again, tell me, who wants this job? Who wants this job? If you can't win 85% of your games and be safe. It was all great when Michigan wasn't playing NIL. Now we are. We have the biggest alumni in the world. If Michigan gets into things that they traditionally don't want to get into, it becomes a problem. Because we got more money than anybody else. The brand is just as big, or if not bigger, than any other brand. You want us to play NIL? We're playing NIL. We get the number 1 player in America. And we're coming after your recruits too. Alabama, Texas, Ohio State, Georgia. We're coming after yours too. We got more money than you do. We're a better brand than you are. If we seriously had a quarterback, we beat you by 14. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to be honest. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this Ohio State team to play bully ball. I don't know where you got it from. You can't bully anybody. You haven't been able to bully anybody since Urban Meyer left. You out-athlete people. You do not bully anybody. You are not built that way. Anything can happen in rivalry games. 96, Michigan beating Ohio State 13-9. Nobody thought that would happen. I think Ohio State was ranked number 2. Michigan was number 21. The Tim Biaka-Batuka game, 315 yards. Things happen. I did not see this. According to the line, I think it was 23 by the time the game started. This is the biggest upset in this rivalry's history. 23 points. There was no way Michigan should have been in this game. But we were, due to the bad coaching of Ryan Day and Chip Kelly, and to the non-confidence that we have put in your head. You cannot beat us. Those winged helmets gets in your head. 4 years in a row, Jack Sawyer, sorry, you played a great game, no gold pants for you. We don't play for trinkets. We play for wins. And I will talk about the melee that happened also in the next video. I want to look at a couple more things. But once again, it's an instant reaction to Michigan beating number 2, upsetting number 2, Ohio State. If you like the content, please hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, share. Until then, you guys have a great day, have a great night, and God bless.